Hello, Brian. Welcome back. I'm inside the, change this around. This is a scale model of the Wright Flyer. Obviously, we know the original is in the Smithsonian National Aerospace Museum, and Mike has been kind enough to share that with us. This is a beautiful model of it, though. Really, really nicely done. So, look at these cars. Isn't it insane where we have come from to this, from this to more modern vehicles? It's pretty impressive. And you can see the mechanics through the mirrors that are placed underneath the car. Amazing technology. We have some antique outboard boat motors. I found these very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, Brian, a lot of age here, a lot of years gone by. Beautiful museum, very, very nice, very elegant. I don't know if they really refer to these as automobiles at this point. I think these were still powered carriages. But amazing. I love the mirrors they put under them so you can see all the mechanics. I still get really emotional about stuff like this. To see where the Wright brothers started from, what they've gotten, what their invention has gotten to over the years. This is one of the first electric vehicles. I believe it's made. It's a General Motors product, Saturn EV1. So this, charging time 3 to 7 hours. It says that there were actually 1,117 made, and they could travel from 55 to 95 miles. Interesting. Certainly have came a long way from there. And the iconic Bell helicopter here. First to be used in commercial. First commercially used helicopter, the Bell 47. Very primitive for today's time, but very reliable helicopter. I've seen many uses over the years. Crop dusting, medevac. This is a nose section of a Lockheed Jetstar. Oh, they got a picture of what the aircraft actually looks like. So this particular aircraft is from 1967. They essentially cut the nose off the aircraft and use it as a display. And the great thing about this display is you can come back here and you can see the cockpit. So very nicely done. Do not have any experience with a Jetstar, but really nice jet. So no longer in production, but there's probably a few still flying. Now, who doesn't love a radial engine? So this is the Wright Cyclone, the R1820. Truly an amazing engine. This is not a double wasp. It's just a single row cylinder. radial, but I love the sound of a radial engine. They're absolutely just sound just beautiful. What if it says what this was actually taken from? So according to the sign down here below it, this engine was same and was a engine from a B-17. So 9 cylinders. This was kind of the standard radial back in those days. Truly iconic. I'd love to have this just hanging in my garage. This thing's incredible. Here's a Rolls-Royce 521 turbojet. And I love cutaway views. These cutaway engines, so we're going to start at the beginning here. We have the inlet here. And you can see the different phases of the compressor stage right here. So as air is traveling from right side to left, you'll notice that the blades, the tolerances get slowly but surely get smaller. So air is being compressed as it travels further back this direction. And then it gets back here to the hot section where it's mixed with fuel in the combustion chambers and ignited. And again, controlled explosion heat travels back to the left again and goes through the turbine wheel, which spins and is connected to this shaft that goes all the way through. So it's a never-ending cycle. As long as fuel is being introduced, the cycle continues all the way to the back and out the some people call it a tailpipe, some people call it the exhaust, but either way, out the back side. I'm not too sure. Okay, so this engine was used in several business jets. I believe this one in particular was used in like the Raytheon Hawker 800 XP series jets. Probably many others. This is the R391 propeller blade. This is essentially a blade from a C-130. Let me get back up so you can see this thing's pretty large. But so blade from the old Herc. Here's what I spoke about earlier on the back side of it, but these are the scale models. These are all in the same scale, so you can get an idea of their size relative to each other. So you can see the Goddard rocket, first liquid propelled rocket, pretty small in comparison to the V2, and the Volstock, Mercury Redstone, Mercury Atlas, Mercury Gemini, Saturn 1B. Interesting fact here, Brian, and all those watching. To save money, these 6-cylinder tanks are actually leftover pieces of the Redstone. So they use pieces of this rocket to build the Saturn 1B here. The second stage from here up is really the same as on the Saturn V. It's just from the first stage was different. So the second stage here rather is the same as the third up there. So of course the mighty Saturn V, 363 feet tall. You get the Photon. I always thought the Photon rocket was really interesting looking, especially with this open frame section right here. On the real ones, this is just open structure. Really cool. The Soyuz that everybody's familiar with that still flies today. And of course the space shuttle. Really cool. Did not know they had this. This is actually the nose cap for the Space Shuttle Orbiter. See if it says which one this one came from. So this came from, wow, this came from Shuttle Columbia. Let me see it from the side, maybe you can get a better view. So this is the very tip nose of the Space Shuttle Columbia. You know, everyone knows that we lost the Columbia many years ago, but and sadly lost her crew. Yeah, you're right, Brian. All the older stuff still operating. Man, we have a hard time today getting things that last, but I think that's part of the plan. Is things that last don't make money, so we have to make things that wear out. So this is a tire from the Space Shuttle. And this is the silica tiles from the Space Shuttle. Protects it from the Earth's atmosphere during re-entry. This says that the bottom of the Space Shuttle is covered with approximately 24,300 silica tiles. One thing that this sign does not say is that every shuttle orbiter had a different amount of tiles and a different placement of tiles because they were constantly being updated. So, pretty neat stuff. So here is a fuel cell. The fuel cells are very much required in space flight because they burn a fuel. In most cases, they burn hydrogen. But through that process, they can create water, electricity to support other systems on board the spacecraft. This one is from the Space Shuttle era. Here's the full-scale Mercury capsule. Again, this is a model, very well made. This is really nice. Does not have a very detailed interior. In fact, the interior cockpit of the real one is much more cramped than this appears to be, but still very nice replica. This is the Soyuz jumpsuit that the Russian astronauts use. And this is the Sequoia rescue suit from the Soviet Union. This is from early 70s. The sign says 1973. So, some neat art here. The lunar rover, later Apollo missions. The famous photograph of the Earthrise. This is the Apollo capsule. This again is not a real Apollo capsule, but it was used in a movie, and this one in particular is meant to resemble that of the Apollo 1 capsule. Still very nice examples. The space hardware is hard to come across. It's not like there's a ton of it just waiting to be gathered up. So I like the fact that they did what they could and were able to replicate them, at least really nicely for everyone to see. This is the engine off the lunar module. This is the Ascent engine. So this used hypergolic fuels that combusted when they were mixed, so it was very reliable. But the fuels were very dangerous. These are some of the tools that they used during the Apollo program to collect rocks. And right over here is an actual moon rock. Yeah, this museum's pretty large. This is just one gallery. I love how they got this Apollo capsule set up to depict all the different layers. You can truly understand the construction of it, from the basic shell to all the different pressure bulkheads and whatnot, all the way up to the very last and outermost covering. So really, really interesting how they represent that here. Good picture of Mercury Atlas launching and Soyuz right there. I got some fantastic artwork in this place. This is an actual unused U.S. satellite, and this is a biosatellite. So this was used to perform biological experiments. It's kind of big. Let me back up here. Yeah, I think we will, Brian. I think we will go to Mars. I certainly hope we do it during my time, and it appears that we probably will. Sometimes we just have to wait. This is more of a astronomy area. So, yeah. Cat's Paw Nebula. Some of these I've seen through telescopes. Trying to find some that are Ring Nebula. I have seen this through a telescope. It's absolutely beautiful. These, nebula are essentially clouds in space. Really, really pretty. I appreciate y'all joining in today. For those that are just popped in, this is the Tellus Science Museum in Cartersville, Georgia. This is the Science in Motion exhibit. There are several galleries here. This is the one that I primarily am attracted to because of aerospace and aviation related exhibits, but there's also dinosaurs and fossils and earth sciences here as well, with volcanoes and meteorites and minerals, stuff of that nature. Bell 47 is pretty cool. I'd really like to have that Jetstar cockpit in my garage. I'd put a big screen in front of it with some Microsoft Flight Simulator and have a good time. Yeah, this building is top notch. The facility itself is just unbelievable. Very, very nice, very elegant. You want to see some dinosaurs? Let me take you out here to the main entrance. Ryan, if you like dinosaurs, you'll love this. I don't mind getting off topic at all. Again, all replicas, but it doesn't really make it not important. Every time I'll show you some of this artwork through here too. These are local artists, I believe, that have done these paintings. Really, really nice. Check this out. Yeah, it's like not at the museum for real. But yeah, got the Brontosaurus here. There's a planetarium in there, which I don't think they'll allow me to get my phone out if we do that later. But let's walk through here, Brian. You might find this very interesting. Yeah, me too. I certainly like aerospace and aviation more than anything else, but I think I have a fair appreciation of all types of history and sciences.
Backbones, fantastic. So one way we can categorize the animals we look at is vertebrates and invertebrates. Ones that have backbones and ones that don't.
Some of the stuff is just amazing.
This guy right here, is he a vertebrate or an invertebrate? Vertebrate. He's got a very
So they've named this one. This is Stan. So this is amazing. The neat thing about this is the kids really get into the dinosaurs. I didn't realize until I came here one time just how many different types of dinosaurs there are. Some of them you think they are one kind and it turns out to be another. This enormous turtle. This thing. Can you imagine? I mean, that is huge. Yeah, T-Rex. I know, right? who doesn't like a T-Rex? But yeah, it's a mammoth. No, you're fine. Yeah. Wow. How about this, Brian? This is a replica of a fossil from a shark mouth. That's how large this thing was. Megalodon. It was nearly the size of, or larger than the size of an average school bus.
Turn around.
Don't know if I'd want that near me. Anyway, that is the dinosaur exhibit. Very, very cool. Yeah, I think most of the bones and I think some of the fossils are real. Again, there's a lot of things that are here that are replicas because there's not
Wait, was that the Chick-fil-A? I could touch that.
there's not so many available. But from what I understand, from what I've read, is most of these replicas have been created or molded from the originals. So, other than not being real, they're pretty much as real as they can be. So, here's a brontosaurus femur bone. It's like 4 feet wide, 4 feet long, maybe 12 inches in diameter. Pretty incredible. Show you some more artwork over here. Some of these paintings, I really wish I could paint like this. This is just an incredible amount of skill. Here we have the space shuttle on the back of the shuttle carrier and aircraft, the 747. Here we have shuttle launch, looking down at the launch complex. This was and I remember this. This was like a thought, prototype idea back in the 70s with the space shuttle, making it a multi-stage vehicle.
Okay, my friends, if you will come in
So,
here, if you need to rest a little bit, you can have a seat on the floor. If you
Atlas
prefer to stand, just
launch
I ask that you stand
down at the
towards
base.
back.
This is
So
really
this, we're sitting
powerful.
in the seat up
This is
front.
the Saturn
If you're gonna
V.
sit down, come and sit up in the front here. If you prefer to stand, just stand toward the back.
Really interesting. You may be right, Brian. I think it's interesting how some things are still just a mystery. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here. It's time. I think all the classes, we're going to go get a bite to eat. So hopefully I will have another opportunity to get back here live again before leaving. And we'll walk around some more. So anyway, so long from the Telus Museum. And we will see y'all again later. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, Brian. And I'll be back as hopefully in maybe an hour or so. I'd like to do at least one more before I leave. I'd like to show the mineral area as well. I know it's not aerospace related, but in a way it is, because some of those minerals are used to make aerospace products. So I can maybe point some of those out. I love the kids. The kids are like, they're glued to this. It's fantastic. A lot of knowledge being shared here, and that's what it's about. So anyway, thank you all, and we'll see y'all hopefully again soon. Thanks a lot.